knowledgeable, resilient, and excellent. I am a fountain of value and an ardent problem solver. I am a voracious learner, so nothing is difficult for me to master. I am a doer with a genius intellect. I am a CyberGirl! Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Long live CyberSafe Foundation! Long live CyberGirls!
Good morning, my time, everyone, and welcome to a day in the life of a penetration tester with Obadare Oluwafemi. And I am so excited to be your host once again. My name is Confidence Stavely. And on this special day, we have, of course, our girls joining us from all of our hubs across Nigeria. We have the Cross River hub here. We have the Kogi girls here. We have the Kaduna girls here. We have Adamawa hub here. We have Enugu girls that, although they're obeying a sit-at-home order by, and of course having a lot of political issues in that part, they're also joining us on YouTube. We're also excited to welcome Oyo Hub. Welcome everyone, and welcome to our guest speaker that I'm going to be introducing in no time. This event is proudly hosted by CyberSafe Foundation. It is Africa's leading non-governmental organization that is set out to drive digital, inclusive, and safe development in Africa. And this event, is also a program out of the CyberGirls Fellowship. CyberGirls is a one-year fellowship that is equipping girls in underserved communities across Africa with globally sought after cybersecurity skills. And this event called A Day in the Life is a series, actually. What we have done with this series is we are inviting top people in the different parts we have as learning parts for the cyber girls, and we are giving the girls a peek, and of course cybersecurity enthusiasts joining us from YouTube and LinkedIn who are not part of the fellowship but would like to show them what these particular parts or domains in cybersecurity entail, or information security generally, what it entails. And that's why we put together this this series. We previously held one that was a day in the life of a SOC analyst, and it was with JJ Davy. We've held another one which was a day in the life of a security, a systems engineer, sorry. And we had Kemas Ohale for that one. So this is the third in the series, and the girls are so excited and they can't wait because it's one that a lot of people, is the buzz one, penetration tester. Many people want to be penetration testers, okay? So they need to know what it entails. And this is why we have no other person but the very, very, very talented Obadare Oluwafemi. He is a certified lead. He is currently the team lead and head of operations, cybersecurity and compliance advisory at Digital and Code. Femi, can you hear me very well?
Yes.
Okay, great. So he has also facilitated numerous trainings on advanced network and application security testing, security incidents, cybercrime management, and digital forensics for various organizations, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So he's international, girls. Femi's ability to handle multiple projects is unparalleled and continually boosts the productivity level of his company. He currently holds multiple international certifications from various reputable organizations, including a Massachusetts, this name always twists my tongue, but I will try. Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about MIT. That's always a tongue twister for me. Massachusetts. I think I got it right this time. But let's make welcome in our CyberGirls joyful style our amazing guest for today, Obadare Oluwafemi. Let's give him a CyberGirls clap and excitement. If you need to unmute your mic and scream.
Hello, everyone.
Excellent. We're all very excited to have you here. I'm sure you want to say something before we start bombarding you with questions.
Good morning, everyone. I'm actually happy to connect with you guys. I'm here to actually answer all your questions, and I'm very sure we're going to enjoy this section. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So, Before we start doing plenty talking about the technical part here, we just really want to meet you first and foremost, right? So tell us, share a bit about your career journey and bring us back to how it all started.
Okay. My name is Femi Obadare. My journey, okay, let me see. I can actually say I ventured into cybersecurity by accident, let me put it that way. Because when we were in school, I remember my university days, what I want to go for when I actually want to go for a level, I want to be a medical doctor, though I have a fear for blood anyway. I don't know a medical doctor that cannot see blood. So that's the mentality I have, that, okay, I want to be a medical doctor. And I did my jam. At the end of the day, I was not given medicine. They gave me MLS, medical lab. So, and it was so funny. The other level, I have to have a discussion with my brother, which is opportune to be in the same field I am now, which is my mentor. I was asked to work for me. So, which one is medical lab? Can't you hear about cybersecurity? I was like, what's cybersecurity? Because then, even in school, or even up to my 500 level when I graduated, for people that are in computer science or computer engineering, what we know is that actually, where if you go for CCNA, that's what it's coming from, because all those people that will come, they are always advertising CCNA. So that's what is really. We don't even know anything about whether anything being about security at all. We don't even have an understanding that there's something called cybersecurity. So that we go for programming, we go for CCNA. Those two things, networking, really during my school time. So it's only like I have to cross over to computer engineering. And from there, when I finished my computer engineering, I was also to do my PhD in the current company I am now. So that's actually what exposed me to cybersecurity, and that's the whole this is really an interesting area, a career that I can venture in. So that's why I moved to cybersecurity.
Oh, that's amazing, and I'm sure a lot of the girls, will be able to relate to your story. I personally also wanted to be a medical doctor, and I got into tech by accident, but no offense to anyone who wants to be a medical doctor here or listening to us, but I'm very glad I did not, because I think I'm having so much fun in tech, like so much fun. And I shared this with the girls on the day we started the induction. I said, for me, what happened was, when I just, it was just supposed to be a time, just while I wait time, I just went to one place and I was learning computer, I was learning how to code. After a few months, I came and did the presentation for my parents with cardboard. I'm like, no, I'm not doing anything else apart from this particular part. I have to be, a tech person. This is what, and I made a whole presentation, and that's how I made the switch to tech. So I can totally relate to your story, and it's so exciting to see that you're such a gem and such a talent that we got to earn by mistake. In InfoSec. Okay, great. So I'm just going to ask you the next question. Who is a penetration tester? I mean, a lot of times people use these two words interchangeably, or two phrases interchangeably: penetration tester and ethical hacker. So is there a difference between a penetration tester and an ethical hacker? And what does this role of a penetration tester entail? How does penetration testing differ from other types of security testing? And what are your day-to-day tasks?
Okay, thank you for that. Definitely a difference between ethical hacking and penetration testing. Though, like you said, people use the word interchangeably. I can say ethical hacking is actually a broad area, which has penetration testing is like a subset of ethical hacking. That's like one of the things you need to do in ethical hacking, because ethical hacking is broad. The penetration testing is just the one aspect of ethical hacking.
Okay.
When I think about penetration testing, we only have a focus area. The scope sometimes is not broad. So they can say, okay, you can do penetration testing maybe on application, and your focus will only be on application. If it's just for internet banking, your focus is only internet banking. But when you're doing ethical hacking, your focus is broad. In fact, you have to have knowledge of everything. Let me just put it that way, because you have to find a way to be able to cover all your areas, all the loopholes, find out all the details of what you are looking for. So that's just like a subset of ethical hacking. Then for my day-to-day activities, it's actually interesting. Now, one of the things I do is to help organization try much as possible to see maybe from their network part, application part, to see whether they have a vulnerability. But it's not enough just showcase that organization have a vulnerability. That's actually why the financial testing come in. So you have to be able to exploit that vulnerability and see whether the vulnerability that you discover can be exploited. Exploited is that can you even gain access to it? Because there's something we call false positive, so that you won't just be making noise or something that's not there. So that's actually why the aspect of penetration testing come in place. So to be able to show, I've been in an area, especially when you're testing application, I've been in an area with a developer in which they like to argue a lot. If you cannot show them how you do all those things. So you should be able to prove yourself that this thing actually exists. And this is how I really want to explain how you're able to get access to those things. Because logically, all those things, all those vulnerability are not possible. So until they see the process, so you'll be able to have the ability to explain the process to them. So that's actually one of my core area. Then guide them on how to remediate those issues. Write a report, which detailed report, to let them know. Then I do forensic investigation to be able to see, okay, what if something has gone wrong, what are the things that have gone wrong, and how can we move one or two together and do what we call a reverse correlation to be able to see what actually go wrong. Those are the things that I do on day-to-day. Then I do a little bit of compliance too, especially on the area of PCI-DSS, which is the payment card industry international standard. So that's so I do more of that the night audits.
Thank you so much, Femi. So there's some profound things I'm going to read to you, so the girls really hear it. So a part of this training has to do with, we do a lot of soft skills training as well for the girls, apart from hard skills training. And when you said about writing a report really, really hit me hard. And I just want to read to it. You know, sometimes when we talk about technical fields, people think it's, oh, just writing code, just logging into server, just knowing how to type Linux commands. It's not just that. When you have found the vulnerability, you have to know how to exploit it. And when you know how to exploit it, you need to explain to other people. And some of them may not be tech people. Some of them may be tech people, like you said, the developers, for example. You need to show them how you have exploited it. And it's not enough to show them that you've exploited it. You need to show them how to fix the problem. Remember what our last session was about, fixing problems. So you have to show them how to fix the problem, okay? Another key thing is that you're going to write a report that shows the process and everything that you've done, okay? So it's important that you have great writing skills. That is where soft skills come into play as well. Girls, don't forget it. And sometimes that's why I insist that in our Cyber Friday chat, that you send messages in your own words and they're not audio. Because you know what? In your report, you cannot say audio reports. Femi, can you send audio reports? Exactly, you can't send audio reports. So by the time you keep writing, you know, our Cyber Friday and the other things that we do, you're sharpening your writing skills. Your spelling is going to get better, because by the time you write report and there's spelling error, they're like, who is this one? Did this one go to school? Do you understand? That time they'll forget that you're such a good pen tester. Do you understand? So it's important that you have the soft skills around communication. Spoken and written communication is very, very, very important. Thank you so much, Femi, for bringing that up, because I really wanted to use the opportunity to speak about that. And I'm going to veer a bit from where I planned to be, because again, it's an exciting session for me as well. We've been in a session where we won an award together, and you shared something about what you discovered in some of your work as a pen tester. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I was explaining the application issues on application. Yeah, I think I do.
Okay, great. So please share that story with them, where you spoke about finding a vulnerability that allowed someone to transfer so much money to an account, and people didn't know that. Do you want to share that? It's off the record. It's off the plan, but it's exciting to just take some few minutes to share that.
Okay. So there's actually a lot of vulnerability application. That's actually why most exciting part for me when I'm testing his application, because he make you to think very well. For we call it such testing. We call it a business logic test, whereby we'll be able to you need to understand the application of and typical example that I can use that someone can relate to. Let me use. Okay, let me even use transcript, for example. Maybe you want to collect your transcripts in university. I know most of the schools now, if you want to collect transcripts, you can online. Then you pay the fee, they will tell you how much you're going to pay, direct you to pay you're going to pay, then you just go to school and collect the transcripts. So if we want to test that kind of application, so the first thing we need to do is to understand the way the application works. Then I will do as if I want to actually collect the transcripts, log into the website of the institution, at the point of payment, if they actually have a flaw, well, there's something we call a server-side validation. Let me see the way I've broken it down. Server validation means if I want to enter your house now, right, and maybe there's some set of people that you give a key to. Maybe I give a key to, let me see, in Kogi and in Adamawa. They are the only one that they know they have key to my door, to my house. So if I'm doing a server-side validation, that means if I see someone that wants to open the door, I will still need to confirm whether it's Adamawa that wants to open that door or it's Kogi. Because I won't make assumption because they are just the two people I give the key to. I have to make confirmation to be sure that they are the one that are coming in. So that is what server-side validation means. But when you have people, majority of the they are doing it, they do a client-side validation. And client-side validation means when I hear someone open the door, I won't bother. I'll just take away. Since it's just those are the two people that I gave those things to, so I don't need to by myself. I assume that they are the only one, and I think the possibility of someone can steal that for them. So that's actually with the different I can explain in my language what is different between a server-side validation. And that's what most of the program is. I mean, program does. So they assume that user can take those figures, those amounts that they put inside those when you want to pay for transfer, of which with the head of what we call the you can actually accept in the middle, there's intercept traffic to the organization and change that price. And also change the price, you pay the amount. And the funny thing is, in the database of the institution, you will see that you actually pay exact amount. But when they now go to the bank and they want to do reconciliation, the bank will say that no, this transaction is lesser than the amount. The same thing with maybe people want to buy something in Jumia or Konga. I've seen a case whereby people are buying things that worth 50,000 and they are paying less than the amount. So it's when they want to do reconciliation, that's where the issue is. The same thing with the banking app too. For those banking, I know bankers actually do a lot of things. So you hardly see those kind of issue now in banking, whereby maybe you want to use the mobile banking or internet banking, and you want to transfer money. Maybe I want to transfer money from my account to your account. Conventional ways, they should debit my account and credit your account. But with this aid in the money in the middle, I can actually intercept and swap the account. So mine will not be the account that they will credit it and will debit your account. And when you go to the bank will see actually the one that sends money to you. So there's nothing the bank will do. The calculator you cannot send money to you. So look at the kind of issue you see on applications over the years.
Okay, so I think there was a network issue and we barely heard a lot of what you said, but I'm going to just share tidbits from what I heard. He spoke about client side and server side validation, validation issues, and how he exploits that as well. So it's not just client side; it gets tested. So client side, I'm sure we understand that by now. I'm assuming that everybody understands client side and server side by now. After your try hack me activities. So what he's saying is that he also starts from understanding what the application does, like a normal user, and then begin to use his pen testing skills. Actually, the story I was going to push you to share is the logic bomb logic bomb experience. Just take 1 minute because you're already running out of time. Just 1 minute to share about logic bomb because it's something very, very simple, but really, really impactful.
Sorry, can you come again? I lost it for a minute.
I was saying
I tried to
logic
change my
bomb, the
network.
logic bomb. Yeah, the logic bomb experience you've had. Can you hear
Hello?
me?
Yeah,
I
yes,
can
it's
hear you.
better now.
Okay, I was saying something about the logic bomb, like logic issue, logic loophole in applications you found. I just want to take 30 seconds to just share about logic issues that you've seen in some applications. For example,
Okay, okay.
with the minus in front of the digits and then minus and another minus somewhere, and then it comes an addition to an
Okay, I
account.
actually mentioned it maybe because the network was breaking. So
Yeah.
okay, the scenario that I just said is let me see internet banking for example. So the more conventional way when you want to transfer money in internet banking is to transfer money from my account to your account. They have to deduct my money and credit and debit the person I'm sending money to. But because of those issue with the logic, business logic, there's a tools common in the middle attack whereby you're able to intercept in the middle when you are when I click transfer, whether on my mobile banking or my web application, and I can hook that transaction. And on a normal front, you can't change those two to from and from to two. You can't change those account number. But in this with these tools, I'll be able to change the account number and send it to the server. And if they are not doing that server addition I'm talking about, my account will not be credited, and the person that I'm sending money to will be debited. And if you go and complain, the bank actually will be seeing it as if you are the one that sent money to me. Another scenario is if I want to transfer money to you, let's say I want to transfer 1,000 naira to you, and you can't put minus 1,000 naira on the feed. It will tell you that the amount cannot be greater than 100. But with these tools, I can actually intercept in the middle and introduce my minus there. So when you now send it to the server, and if they're not checking at the server end, so when you get to the server, they're supposed to minus what is coming from. And minus times minus that is coming from will become plus because this is a mathematical computation. So that means my account will be increased by the kind of amount that I'm sending to you instead of my account to be debited. So those are the kind of logic flow. And if I actually got this term, you try to manufacture a virtual money. See, I don't have any money, so just trying to just put in it. And I've seen this playing over the years in a majority of the application that we tested.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I see what the logic flow can do. That's a simple business logic flow, and it seems very simple, but you see how in practice it actually worked. And this management attacks are some of the first key things we learned about. I'm sure we are beginning to see more and more applications of man in the middle attacks and how it plays out. So this is quite exciting. I'm going to ask another question. Right. What is the process for performing penetration testing? Walk us through and share any, standard steps, processes, methodologies, approaches, or frameworks which you follow.
Okay. For penetration testing, we actually have some basic standard. Part of them is NIST standard, which details what you need to do. And when it comes to application, we have what we call OAuth testing. Which in fact they are even trying to redefine because majority of the years I was actually having a section with my team saying that what we have seen over the years is not even SQL injection again, is broken access authentication. That's what is common now. And I was shocked when I was just stumbling on the internet and I see that they have actually raised broken access authentication as number one now. I was like, oh,
Yes.
this is fantastic because that is what is common now. In fact, majority of the application we are testing, you hardly, especially for APIs, you hardly see that they don't have broken access controls. They always have that thing. So, which is one of the standard that you will need to follow. And for you to do that, part of what you need to do is to do what we call a reconnaissance. That's the first step for if you want to perform initial testing. Reconnaissance in the sense that try to get more information about the organization, whether it's passive or active. Passive in the sense that I'm not engaging. Maybe you don't even know that I'm probing you. maybe I just go to your website now, checking out something on your website. You may not even know that someone is doing anything. But active now is if I'm not trying to now scan or do a pulse scan to find some loopholes and see all those things. And maybe you now have some security solution that is alerting you. That's where passive come in. Then after you gather all those information, then you try to do the vulnerability assessment, see what you can come up with all those information, try to do your exploit, and go as far as even put a backdoor in case, though there's some organization, because this one that the aspect we are taking is ethical one. It's not the aspect that you want to come back to it and hack the organization later. So there's some organization, exactly. So there's some organization that will tell you that they don't want you to drop any backdoor. So just let them know that this is exploitable. In fact, there's some organization that will even tell you, we know you can exploit, don't exploit. Just tell us this is possible and let's move on. So it depends on the scope of work that the organization gives to you. That's the extent that you can go to. And you need to be able to explain. I think the main important thing in soft skill, like you said earlier, is you need to be able to explain those issues, because you have a lot of people that is going to want to defend that you did not see this in the organization. So you'll be able to explain perfectly so that people can, you'll be able to carry everybody along to be able to explain to them, this is how it is, this is how you discovered this is how you go into all these things. So those are the things that you need to do.
Okay, so I'm just going to reiterate on something he said and actually really caution the girls. Please, by law, active reconnaissance is punishable by law. So if you start scanning ports without what's it called again, permission, you can get arrested, though. So ensure that you do it within the confines of the permissions that were given to you. Passive reconnaissance, like OSINT, isn't really frowned at. So, for example, a lot of the girls, some of the girls during our open day last time found vulnerable cameras, and they didn't go further with exploiting, but they knew how to exploit it. So that's passive. So OSINT, using OSINT for reconnaissance isn't necessarily a crime. But when you do anything actively, like scanning ports and all those kind of things, that is punishable by law, because that's active reconnaissance. Okay, so great. So I know that this will be the first a day in the life that will spill past our time, because you can see there are a lot of questions coming in, and I haven't even reached half of my own questions. So please pardon us. I know we said 30 minutes, but please pardon us. This is an insightful one for all of us.
No problem.
Okay, the next question I'm going to ask is, as someone who, in this context, who is a CyberGirls fellow, who is just about to kickstart her career in cybersecurity, how would this person know if if the penetration testing career path is a great fit for them? A lot of the girls have indicated interest, and then they'll have to pick by the end of this month, first week of next month, where they want to be in terms of learning paths that we offer them. We offer them 7 learning paths. But I'm sure that some of the girls may come up to us and say, okay, I want to be a pen tester. And we say, are you sure? Do you have this? Do you have that? Are you this kind of person? Are you that kind of person? Does this interest you? So before we do that vetting, I want you to tell us what are some of the key things somebody who is looking to have this career path, how would they really know that there is a great fit for them?
Okay, I think the first thing I would say is, trust me, when you have initial testing and someone explains to you how it's work that you'll be hacking is exciting. And then others say, if you don't love that job, it's easy for you to say not again, because you need to have ability to be able to do a lot of research. In fact, you need to know how to do a lot of research, because you don't want to find yourself in the aspect of where attacker is no more than you. You have to be ahead of them. Imagine an organization involved you to come and do a pen test. At the end of the day, because you don't know what is trending in the world, you did not see loopholes, and at the end of the day, they trace it to the time that that vulnerability has existed when you perform the pen test. The organization can sue you. So it's like it's a very delicate job. Let me put it that way. So one of the things you need to do is you need to be on top of the game, and you can't be lazy. Let me put it that way. You have to be someone that you can never be lazy. You have to make sure you do a research. It not depend how you learn. Some people learn by watching videos. Some people learn by reading articles. Some people learn by just listening to people talking. So, but you need to be able to learn every constant day so that you can know what is trending over the world. Another thing is try as much as possible to have a little background of computer generally, because it's help you a lot. You need to understand, in fact, even understand the way computer work, even understand technology. When you type www.com, doesn't work. Try to understand those basics so that you'll be able to explain. So the way you will explain to people than someone that doesn't even know, just know, okay, I can just use Metasploit, then type payload, comment, and you that explain, know how to understand how those rudiments work. You will excel better than someone that doesn't know those rudiments, because you'll be able to relate with everybody when you're doing your presentation. Whether the programmer are there, whether the IT are there, you'll be able to explain to them and flow with them. So you need that basic understanding of IT generally, to be honest. Then you need the soft skill. You need people skill. You do penetration testing, we talk to computer, but we still need people skills. Sometimes you need to be able to, especially when you want to do social engineering, you need to be able to find a way to make people comfortable, make people let people make believe of when you're talking to people. So you have to have that one. Then you need, as funny as it is, you need to know your Microsoft whether Excel, whether PowerPoint or Word, you need to know it, because it's hard when you know what you need to do and you cannot put down your report using those basic information, especially when you're going for ethical hacking. Pen test, you may not actually, if you're doing a pen test, you may not actually need those, but for ethical hacking that compiles everything, you need those basic things to be able to know how to use all those soft key, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, at least to some extent to be able to drive your point. So I think those are the things that you need.
When we are pushing them now on Try Hack Me to go and know how a web server works, these are the reasons. How does web server? What is the handshake? Different handshakes. What's the difference between TCP and UDP? These are the reasons we are doing all of this, because the truth is the basics are where the masters lie. People that are able to get those basics are the ones that actually excel, because you can't build on a shaky foundation, can you? You definitely can't. So I'm going to run off to the next question, because again, this looks like an hour session that's supposed to be 30 minutes. What are the skills required to break into the field? Before I ask that, what is the most challenging and intriguing project or experience you've had in your career as a penetration tester, and what did you learn?
Let me see. Okay, I think one of them is when you're working with a client that they know their onions. When I say know their onions, is you want to perform a pen test, and everywhere you go, they are blocking you. You test application is secure. You have to find something. Because you can't just go and say you did not find anything. So you have to find a way and do a lot of research and see how you can bypass those controls. I think that's one of the most challenging and easy aspect of work. And most of the time, research, like I said, people skill. Sometimes I'll just sit down with the people, just talking to them, and at the end of the day, they will say something that they are not supposed to say, but they don't know. Then I can use that one to capitalize and just use them at least to find something. So I think that's how I was able to overcome the research too. Is very important. So I think that's one of the most challenging things I would like to say.
Okay, great. So my next question is, what are the skills required to break into this field and excel while in the field? And are there job opportunities? I think you sort of touched on part A of that question.
Yeah, the skill.
If you forgot
exactly.
to add, if I forgot to add anything, you can add, but very strongly, are there job opportunities?
There are a lot of job opportunity. In fact, they are saying now that the next word will be cyber. So a lot of organizations, countries are trying to prevent this. Imagine internet was, let's say internet is just down for even one day in Nigeria. Do you know how much millions of dollars that the what's it called, the country is going to lose? So in fact, there's a lot of, there's this thing this cybersecurity is so easy that if anything happens today in Nigeria, you find yourself anywhere in the world, the only thing you need is just go and buy a new laptop, and you are good to go and start your work again. I'm telling you, it's as good as that. So there's a lot of job opportunity there. It's something that you have in you. So they can take it from you. Even if you find yourself in Afghanistan today, what you just need to do is, why are they selling laptop? Buy a new laptop and you continue starting your work. So everybody needs a lot of organization, a lot of even hospital now. A lot of people are now know that cybersecurity is very important. So it's like a domain that you cannot go wrong. To be honest, you can't go wrong if you venture into that domain.
Thank you so much. But just to take you back again, because the question is asked so many times and we cannot just, I think some people didn't pick it up. So what are the skills required to break into the field of pen testing and excel in it?
Yeah, one of the skills I excel is you need to have a people skill. That's number one. You need to have basic understanding of what IT is all about. Like you said, UDP, especially OSI model. OSI model is so important that you need to know it like if they woke
Back
you
of
up
your
today,
head.
you need to know all those things. Because if you know OSI layer, it will be easier for you to be able to break down a lot of things, to be honest with you. So then your Microsoft Word, Excel, you at least have understanding on those ones too. Then you need to be able to do a lot of research, have understanding to be able to do research. You can't just say, I know A today. Before you know it, ABC have come out. And you need to know that ABC because you don't want to know those bad guys to be ahead of you. So you have to make sure you are correct with what is going on all over the world. So, because if you are
Exactly.
lazy, trust me, it's easier to just say, this thing I'm not doing again. So you cannot be lazy in this kind of job.
Exactly. And that's why you must genuinely love it. If you genuinely love it, in fact, there's some days you will not sleep early and it will not be a big deal. Do you understand? It will just be normal as if you're watching a movie or something that you really enjoy because it's something you
Exactly.
really enjoy anyway. So it's important that you really, really enjoy this field and that you are curious. I just wanted to ask that and add that as well to everything you've said. Being a pen tester requires that you're curious. You want to poke things. Are you that kind of person who, wants to check things, wants to poke? You're not just taking things for the surface value. If you're that curious person, you really need curiosity to really, really excel in the pen testing career path. Okay, great. So I'm just scrolling some of the comments here, and they're so exciting to see. I really seeing everything we are learning on Try Happy being recommended makes me so happy. That's exactly we've been the girls. Some of the girls here, in fact, most of the girls here are in top 10 in Try Hack Me. So the next place they're heading to now is top 5, and the next place after top 5 is top 1%. So
That's
they're
good to
excited
know.
because of that. Yeah, Kogi girls, all of them are in top 10. Calabar girls, all of them are in top 10. So they are very, very excited about the fact that you're mentioning these things that we have been drumming. The next thing I want to ask is if someone here was to start out as a pen tester in a role, in the role as a pen tester, what are the other InfoSec career paths that they can pivot their careers to after some years? Because I've listened to you, speak about your path, and I can hear that you're doing other things. In fact, you're pivoting. I hear you pivoting. So, what are the other places that people can pivot? You can start off as a pen tester, or maybe not as a pen tester. But if you start off as a pen tester, what are the other places you can branch into?
Yeah. There's only several places you can buy into. One of the key things or areas is in areas of audits, either information security audits, and you can try to just audit maybe application based on the knowledge. In fact, your even audits will be more thorough than those ones that use checklists because at that point you are not going to use checklists. So if they are telling you they use something, you have to tell them, show me that you use those things because you understand, So you'll be able to even educate those people, not that you just say, oh, okay, because you have padlock. Because I've been an audit that those guys they said they keep their data in transit and I told them to show me evidence and because they now say I can see that they use padlock HTTPS. I was like, no, you use HTTPS does not mean your data in transit is actually encrypted. Because when I'm using my username and password, that padlock does not encrypt those data. The padlock is just be at the network level alone. Maybe someone wants to sniff. That's what it is. So you'll be able to educate them. But if you don't have this understanding or come from area of financial test or ethical hacking, once they tell you, we have HTTPS, we just mark, pass. So you can go into that area. Then even forensics too. So to help you to actually venture into area of forensics. Like I said, I venture into compliance a little bit too, which is the PCIDS, because PCIDS actually is one of the compliance I know is very technical. You have to be very technical, which we actually help to because PCIDS is not just a checklist alone if you know what you're doing. So you can venture into that aspect areas too. But most of all, thing you can't go wrong in audits. If you said, okay, maybe you say you're tired of maybe trying to talk to your computer, you want to talk to people.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
that. I just wanted to really, really ask also as well. What's next in your career for you, and if there's anything exciting and new that you look forward to?
Maybe now. One of the things I'm looking forward to maybe to have a presentation in the White House. So I'm still looking forward for that day. So that we'll have a cybersecurity presentation, and I'll go to White House to go and do that. And then I'm trying to as much as possible to have to do some professional certification too. So that, like I said, you need to be ahead of what is going on. You need to know what is going on. So try to gather one more two information, and try to improve yourself, because this is something that you need to do every day. In fact, you can't just close your eyes and say you want to go to sleep, because things are happening every day, every day. I can't hear you again.
Oh, okay, I was saying that that's what's really exciting about InfoSec. You cannot be bored. There's something every
Yeah,
day exciting to learn and learn. I'm very, very happy that you mentioned how being a pen tester can make you a better auditor. And I just wanted to make mention of the fact that InfoSec generally is very overlapping. So like one part can overlap over the other. It's not clear cut out. So I'm saying that to say some of you, we have parts like incident response that you want to be a SOC analyst, for example. But you see that even when we got in the SOC analyst was talking about you also having an attack mindset that comes with also a defense mindset. So you see that even just knowing how to attack makes you a better SOC analyst as well. So
exactly.
it's very, very overlapping. And just for the girls who don't understand what forensics is let's say a field of cybersecurity that has to do with understanding what happened after an event has actually happened. So you're the one that's going to unravel how did the bad guys get in, what did they exploit, what did they leave back, how much damage was caused, all of that is your work, and it might be a puzzle to piece together, but that's what forensics is about. Abi Okoya. Let me see
Yeah.
for you. Okay, great. So I'm going to go to my next question. If you could have done something different from being a pen tester, what would it be and why?
Maybe programming. I'll venture into programming because I love to try to be able to solve something, try to
Yeah,
think outside the box. So I think it's
yeah,
programming that relates to pen testing. So
yeah. I
maybe
came from a programming
I'll go for
background.
programming.
I
Yeah.
came from a programming background, so I can totally relate to what you're saying. I started learning. I
Yeah.
came into IT learning how to program in Java and C Sharp and C. So switching my skills over to InfoSec or cybersecurity generally was very easy. So I came from it because I came with those skill sets. And with programming, if you know one
Exactly.
language, you can learn just about any other language. So yeah, I
Exactly.
totally get
Exactly.
you. But I'm sure now you know you know what programming languages you currently know.
I know a little bit of C sharp, Java, but I'm doing Python presently, just to understand. But though I'm not going deep inside it, I'm just trying to understand the basic of it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm learning Python presently.
Okay. It's important to also highlight that as well because you know that see he spent so many years he's really really soaring high but he's constantly learning and that's what I need everybody here to remember. There's something that the infosec will say: the day that you stop learning any day that you feel like so much of an expert that you stop playing, that's the day you become obsolete. Like literally that exact day, yeah. You always need to continue learning. And before I jump into the questions on the chat group, which I'm going to go in next, what advice would you give young girls or the young fellows here, and generally anybody joining us online? What advice would you give them and that you wish you knew earlier before you started your career?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I wish I know area, maybe when I was in university, I would have maybe invest more time in this programming language. Maybe I will have learned and use that time to learn instead of me now try to because it took me a lot of strength to learn when I now graduated to be able to understand some basic programming. And the school is not helping, to be honest, because our curriculum in school is we are teaching Fortran. What's using Fortran again? Yeah. So maybe I will have learned all those things inside, learn the new thing, all those things when I was in university days. I think that's the one thing I wish I can change. But instead of me not learning it when I now graduated, and it's like a lot of things now because it's now take a lot of things out of me, a lot of efforts now because I now by that aspect I was doing a lot of things, so I now need to include those ones to it. So maybe
Okay.
that's one of them. Yeah.
So my own last question before I go into the questions here is it's a random one and it's unconventional. If you could be physically present anywhere in the world right now, where would it be?
White House. So, so White House, please.
Okay, great. So we'll start answering the questions from the audience here. Onone is asking this question. I think Onone is joining us from Cross River Hub. Correct me if I'm wrong. Onone says, among the stages of pen testing, what stage do you find the hardest?
Let me say it depends on each client you're working with. There's some client that even to get their information online, you have to sweat a little bit. But I think the other stage is expectation stage. That's the other stage because some organizations have a lot of security solution that the way you are attacking, they are blocking you, and you have to sweat before you can even get hold of you get inside because you're not doing if you're doing the vulnerability assessment alone, it'll be easier because you don't need to show step that you
Exploit.
don't need to show them exploitation. But now you're doing pen test and you can't just say, "Oh, I discovered this" without showing them stuff, and they are blocking you. So you have to now find a way to be able to bypass. Most of the time, what I've seen so far is maybe now when I'm not doing okay now, most of the things that I see that they are flaw is I'm trying to connect to them. So most of the people have organization have rules that when you are trying to connect, they block you. So you cannot devise a meeting to now say, okay, let me do if Mohammed cannot come to Monte, let's Monte initiate a connection to Mohammed. So those are kind of areas that it's kind of difficult. Expectation stage is actually kind of big day. I would like to say.
And that's a skill you're showing there, thinking outside of the box. Please, girls, pick it up. You really need to be
Yeah.
an out of the box thinker to be able to navigate your way through being a pen tester. The next question is from Miriam Shashere. She's joining us, I'm very sure, from the Kaduna Hub. Can you share how the career path digital forensics is in Nigeria? Like this, maybe I'm just asking the state of it. And if there's any certification, is the Computer Forensics Institute in Nigeria recognized, for example? So she's asking this question.
Yeah. For digital forensics, I would actually advise that you, like I said earlier, you have a basic understanding you're doing in this IT. I mean, cybersecurity rather. You need to have a basic understanding on how computer works, basic IT understanding. So you need that thing in anything that you so because it gives you an edge over what you're doing. Then there's some certification that you can do. I know you can see as a forensic certification that you can do, and that is globally recognized. For computer forensic institute in Nigeria, I actually don't know much about them, but I believe they are recognized. But I'm not saying globally, but maybe in Nigeria, yeah. But I really don't know much about them, so I can't say.
I want to add also that you cannot just, even for EC Council, you cannot just go to do forensics. You have to do some other,
Yeah, there's a correct answer. Yeah.
there's a path to being a forensics person or professional. One of them, for starts, would be definitely to be an ethical hacker first and foremost. I just wanted to just add that to what you just said. And the next key thing I want to ask, the next question I'm going to take here is from CyberGirls Oyo. It's on the screen right now. Why does it seem like there's so much penetration testers in Nigeria than other specialists in other career paths? I don't know if there's a question.
I don't think so. In fact, I can even tell you that we don't have so much. We have we have others that even penetration tester because for me, a lot of people that I know. I said we have even other people in InfoSec,
Okay.
information security, cybersecurity, even than the penetration tester, because I know of a lot of people that were in this field together. That 80%, okay, don't let me say 80%, don't let me exaggerate. Let me say 60% of them are even travel out, and to find this key set now is even very, very difficult. So I don't think we have so much of pen tester in Nigeria. I don't believe it has statistics. I think we are
There's
even
actually,
lacking.
yeah, I think there's actually a very strong brain drain happening right now in cybersecurity. We're losing a lot of talents to other parts, but I'm not saying you shouldn't jump out. If I don't offer for you, you should go. But we're having a brain drain, and that makes some very, very core niche skills to be lacking now, practically lacking now. Also, I want to make mention to this person that it's possible that the people they are seeing are also enthusiasts. They don't really attain the state of pen tester per se. They're enthusiasts, that means they're still learning. So you might find a lot of enthusiasts and mistake them for seasoned professionals. Let me see whether there's another question here. Okay, great. I've seen a question from Erere. Yes. If you could solve one cybersecurity risk in the world forever, what would it be?
Maybe in the area of application, because I still have a lot of issue in that regard. Because sometimes if you see the way people are coding, maybe because they don't go to normal what we call a secure coding, so people just develop application and they just put it out there, especially organizations that are not financial institution. No financial institution, they still have some procedure. But other people, they just someone that just know how to put HTML, design a mini website together, and they just put it out there. So I think of the thing I would like to eradicate is the issue in the area of programming, which is the application development life cycle, so that people can incorporate security when they actually develop it to make our life easier.
Secure by design.
It will make our life easier.
Exactly.
It's tedious.
Oh, amazing. That's some really, really great thoughts you've shared there. I think we're going to have one last question. For someone with poor writing skills, would you advise that they go ahead and start a career in pen testing? You answer, and I can always chime in after you. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can. I'm not actually a great. I don't have a great writing skill when I started, but it's something that I pick up over the years. To be honest, so it's something that you can develop if you are deliberate about it. Let me put it that way. So it's something that you can pick up along the side and try to improve yourself. Try to improve. That's why we are saying that this is not a field that because you do ABC today you now go to sleep. No, so you can actually start then try to improve your skill. And funny enough, there's a lot of stuff out there that you can use to improve your skill and all those kind of things, which sometimes if they're even free, most of them are even free. So you can start, then be deliberate about it to try to improve your skill.
Exactly. Thank you so much for this. Has been the longest session very easily, and people have just really, really stayed through it. given how interesting it is. We have spilled our time by 25 minutes. I'm a serious timekeeper when I host sessions, but this was one I couldn't help myself. Thank you so much for your generosity with your time and with your knowledge and for sharing. And you know what, we're going to call up on you again because I'm sure a lot of the girls want to know more about you, want to connect with you more and see how you can support them. We're going to call on you more. And girls, do you realize that, yeah, do you realize there's a similarity between his name and somebody else's name? There's somebody else's name. Is there a similarity that you picked up? Anybody has picked up? Anybody wants to share? I think Bisola knows. Just I think Bisola knows. You should talk now. There's somebody you met very early on your training that shares the same name as him. Who can remember that person? Anybody? You will not be falling my hand like this. If you want to say something, say it now. Okay, so a lot of them know your brother. Sorry, go ahead.
He's a part of the CyberSafe program. I think he's part of CyberSafe team. I think he's the chairman.
Okay, so I know that you know it. So, what is his name? Can anybody remember his name? Okay. Anyway, you got it right. So let's give her a round of applause. You got it right. All of you knew the answer, but I'm sure you were doing it to one corner. So you see, the whole of Obadare family, they are experts and they are supporting us. Yes, they are experts and that's how great cybersecurity is. It's very sticky. You come in small and you dive in fully. You're not ready to dive in fully. Sorry for you. Okay, somebody has actually said his name here. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Oluwafemi. We really, really appreciate you taking the time out to really interact with us, and we hope that in the near future you can do this on a closer basis, maybe one of our hubs virtually as well. Thank you so much for your time. Okay. We really deeply appreciate. And can we all just unmute our mics and just say these thank yous we are saying?
Thank you so
much. At least I just see my face. Okay, great stuff. So thank you very much. We will be ending the stream here and saying bye to everyone joining us from LinkedIn and from YouTube. It's such a pleasure to have. I think I see a lot of people joining us from here. There are a lot of people joining us actually from all of these platforms. So thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you learned a lot. If you did, please drop a message for our guest speaker to know that you really were impacted. Thank you so much, and bye for now.